In Back to School and Beyond coverage, Michigan's latest school attendance records are now public. Some UP schools are beating the state average. TV6's Iron Mountain Kingsford Bureau reporter Blake Ryerson shares how some of the highest attended schools in Upper Michigan keep kids in class.
According to data released by Michigan's Department of Education, schools in Dickinson and Iron County have, on average, higher attendance and lower chronic absences than the state average. In the last school year, the Briding Township School District had an attendance rate of almost 94%, 4 points higher than the state average. Briding Township School District Superintendent David Holmes says getting parents involved with the school makes families more confident in sending their kids to learn.
It's really important to start early and to incorporate that into all of your communications with families. So as we have things like open house events, we discuss the importance of attendance. We discuss the supports we have in place to make sure that students can come to school and feel comfortable and safe.
Holmes says Woodland Elementary's DRIVE program helps instill a sense of responsibility in students.
The DRIVE acronym really helps to build upon the skills that they want to see, one of them being dependability. So the D stands for dependability. So teaching students that it's important to be dependable and show up for work or show up for school really helps to impact.
The Forest Park School District has the highest attendance rate in Iron County. Superintendent Michelle Thompson suggests that the school's social emotional learning program helps connect students to the staff. Thompson says the program has expanded to introduce students to the school's entire staff.
They rotate through the entire staff, so it's a 2-week rotation. So it really creates more touch points for kids instead of just the teachers that they see throughout the day. And so that was really positive.
For resources to find information about your local school, go to uppermichigansource.com or the TV6 and Fox UP mobile news app. Blake Ryerson, TV6 News, Kingsford.